All right, guys, welcome back to Hero Report, presented by TarHeal247.com. I'm Jacob Turner. He's Andrew Jones and AJ. We're here for a little quick drop. As you can see, AJ is still in the Keenan Football Center. He's been there for over 48 hours now. This podcast is coming out on Monday, so he has not left the press box yet. He is just sitting in the same spot, and I have not changed my shirt or moved from my seat as well. So we figured we'd do a little quick drop, AJ, and just talk about some bowling for the Tar Heels, man. And I think that's what we're going to do in here. Again, we're going to try to get it out relatively quickly because we usually don't, but real quickly, 75% off, 1 year VIP subscription at TarHeal247.com. Link is in the description below. It ends tonight. I'm pretty sure we're putting this podcast out on Monday. So it ends tonight at midnight. Make sure you guys take advantage. It comes out to around $250 a month. Again, 75% off. 1 year VIP sub at our website. Awesome community we have over here, and we want to bring even more Tar Heel fans into our community over here. So make sure you guys get signed up. We don't run promos like this incredibly often, so do it before time runs out tonight. And we appreciate everybody that has taken advantage so far. But AJ, the reason we wanted to hop on here and do just a quick drop to talk about kind of the bowling scenario for the Tar Heels now as they sit at 4-5. Need 6 wins to get in this thing. They have 3 games left. Again, the state championship series is how the Carolinas going to wrap up this season. But I'm going to kick it to you because what sparked the idea of doing a quick drop like this was what Jordan Shipp said after the Stanford game. And he is a guy that we consider kind of one of, if not the spokesperson for this football team. So AJ, take us back to Saturday night, even though we are recording this on Saturday night. I want you to take us back to Saturday night and just kind of walk us through what Shipp said, and then we'll kind of go from there.
We can improvise that it's Monday, but it's really Saturday. So that's a trick I have learned, I guess.
It's like the Matrix right now.
Yeah. I think Jordan Shipp is the voice of this team. I think Gio has done some things to take those steps. I think Kamari House does a nice job. But I think Melcart, we got him at Syracuse. I think he's someone that can be that way. But Jordan was here last year. Jordan came in under Mac. Jordan stuck around. Jordan is a guy who a lot of my high school friends are here. Why would I leave? This is my school. This is my state school. There's a lot of reasons that he's here other than just Bill Belichick. So I think that there's some ownership that Jordan takes in the program. And I respect him. He's a true sophomore. There's a couple of young guys on campus here pretty good at that. There's no one over in basketball who's even younger.
I know, it's kind of like a trend a little bit.
But I think that from a football standpoint, Jordan has been the guy that we talked to in June. I was surprised that we got him in June, but it's almost like the program said, okay, you're a returning player that we're putting out front. You have to speak on our behalf. You have to vow for us, kind of, right? And he's done that even through the most difficult of times. It would have been easy and we've heard about the Mac guys versus the Belichick guys, and a lot of that is true, okay? I'm not going to go there with this. Jordan has been a galvanizer. Jordan has been a guy that, man, I don't care who you came in under, when you came in, we're here to win games. These are my boys. You're my boys. These are my boys. Everybody's my boys. So I thought it was interesting when Michael Coe asked Gio about bowling. Gio's like, well, we got this weight lift tomorrow and that run tomorrow, meaning Sunday. So Gio wasn't going to go there with it. But Gio's very, very diplomatic with what he says. Jordan says a little bit more. And he asked Jordan about it and says, yeah, our focus is today. We couldn't beat Stanford we couldn't get to a bowl without beating Stanford. We probably can't get to a bowl without beating Wake. So that'll be our next focus. But it is in the back of our mind. When he said that, that was the first glimpse kind of down a tunnel for this team to see where it is. So he's saying that. He's a spokesman. He chats with guys. I think that they know, you know what? Boy, that would be a way to stick it to all the naysayers. We can get to a bowl. So I thought that was really interesting that he's the one who said that. Bill was asked about it. Credit Michael for asking Bill that question too. He didn't really go on with it, but he didn't just swat it away like, well, we only care about what we're going to have for lunch tomorrow and how lunch helps us work out in practice. I mean, that's kind of the way Bill rolls about a lot of things, although he was much chattier after the game, 27 minutes. And by the way, side note, Lord Mayor of Dublin, Emma Blaine, was in the press conference. She was here. She was here back in June when they announced the TCU game is going to be in Ireland next year. So she was back.
Was she at the TCU game? I feel like she was at the TCU game for some reason.
She may have been. I don't recall.
Because they're playing each other next year there.
There were so many people that were at that game that it was circus in the press box.
I have a memory of her being there.
It was not a circus today, but I saw her actually in the press conference area before I walked in and saw her. So she was there, and I remember her from June and asked her a few questions. So Bill went really long. He showered before the presser. He went really long, and he's kind of putting on a good face, I guess, and did a nice job answering questions, gave us some more intel. We can actually write some stories based off of it, believe it or not. But he didn't deflect the bowl question. So they're 4-5. They can smell something.
It's in the air, yeah.
It's like there's a waft.
Yeah.
Those old cartoons when like Tom and Jerry or whatever. I don't know what the hell. Or even ones for younger people. Tom and
Jerry's. That's what I was that or Bugs Bunny.
Tom and Jerry's for ancient dudes like me. And someone will bake a pie and they put it in the window to cool off, right? And the window's up and you can see the scent going. Tom catches wind of it. He's going to go take the pie or whatever. Yeah. There's a pie somewhere from a bowl game in which there's a scent. And guess what? In the press conference, I sat next to a woman from the Tax Slayer Bowl, which was once the Gator Bowl. It might be the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl. I don't know what the hell it's called now. It's the one in Jacksonville that's going to move for a year probably because they're going to redo that stadium. I'm like, why are you here? She goes, well, long story short, we get to choose certain games to go to and check things out and represent, and we decide to come here. And, if North Carolina were to win, they're 4-5 with some winnable games left, so we're keeping an eye on them. So that's the other reason we're talking about this. So I sat next to her. Lord Mayor Dublin's there. There's a reason she's there, just to have fun. It just happens to be Carolina winning the game. And, oh, by the way, the spokesman of the team didn't deflect the question. It's in the back of our minds. We are not focused on it, but it's in the back of our minds. And the only way it could be in the back of their minds is if there is a hint of possibility that after all this team has been through, after all the chaos, and I'm not going to go into chaos stuff, but it's not like everything is completely fixed there, okay? I'm not going to go there, but it's not like that's the case. But from a football standpoint, if they can get to a bowl, then what a hell of a job by this group. By the players, by the staff. And you're talking about a crisis point there in early October. And now for Jordan Shipp to say it's in the back of our minds. I don't think it's going to happen. I think they have to win 2 of their last 3. I think it's going to be very, very challenging.
I think so too, yeah.
The fact that they reached the point where the spokesman of the team could say it's in the back of our minds, I think right there that's success.
Yeah, I think you're right
or enough success. Excuse me.
Yeah. It's not necessarily. It's not the season Carolina fans wanted, where you just most Carolina.
It's not what I'm sorry. Jump in. I'm going to interrupt you.
Yeah, fine. Yeah, go ahead. I know you were going to clarify
in the comments, but it's not what they're paying for. But you can't do anything about all that stuff now. All you can do is, okay, here's all the scattered mess. Are they sweeping it into bins now? Are they cleaning things up a little bit? Are they moving forward? It's a little bit more presentable. Yes. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're good. I knew you were going to clarify. I figured you'd clarify that point because I knew what you were saying, but some people might have misconstrued it. But I think what you found is Carolina was kind of at that crossroads point after the Clemson game, before the California game, where things could have just gone extremely west really fast, especially from a player perspective, because we know what was going on behind the scenes. There's a lot of things that were reported that weren't true. There's a lot of things that were reported that were true.
Most were.
That's what I'm saying.
And we know a lot that we haven't reported for a lot of reasons.
Yeah, not everything's just been rosy in the Kingdom Football Center.
Not everything needs to be reported.
No, it doesn't need to be. Not everything's not rosy over there, and it really hadn't been the whole season. And that's just kind of where this thing's found. But I think when you look at the crossroads point that kind of Carolina found itself at before the Cal game, it was either going to go really west, or this team was going to kind of see if they could find something and galvanize and just keep chopping, get better week by week, and let's see what we can do. And things have gone that way, and we see countless times, especially in this day and age of college sports, college football in particular, where you can hit the portal, where teams can, guys can leave in a heartbeat, where coaches get fired mid-season all the time. And I think you have to give a lot of credit to these players, not only for kind of making that decision of, hey, like, no, let's keep doing this thing. Like, we're not quitting on this season. And I think you hit the adversity too of losing in the fashion they did at California, losing in the fashion they did at Virginia, where, okay, you almost won those games, but Carolina wasn't a very good team at those points, and that's why you lose those type of games. Teams that are struggling tend to make those mistakes, which lead you to lose games at Cal and lose games at Virginia, even when you have opportunities to do so. But that didn't really discourage them. And then you had two very winnable games. Let's not get it twisted here, guys. They were not playing Notre Dame and Indiana these last couple of weeks, all right? But they went up to Syracuse and they took care of business and ended up being a relatively comfortable game. They took advantage of the opportunity and beat the team in front of them. And then they come back home, and I think, especially from a defensive perspective, did more than enough to beat Stanford comfortably. Ended up being a little bit sketchier, but ultimately I think it was a relatively comfortable win for North Carolina. And you're sitting here saying, okay, like 4-5, yes, does Carolina have some very tricky games coming up? Absolutely. Do I think they're going to win 3 or even 2? No, not really. I think if I had to pick right now, I think they can sneak one of these out, but there's no chance I'll be sitting here saying they're going to win 3 out of 3. But the fact, and I think this, again, as you said, this is kind of the message of the podcast, the fact that it's even a topic of conversation right now is what this team does deserve credit for. Not a successful season, no matter what happens. Not a season that Carolina fans, we talked about it before the season started, AJ. We did surveys. We talked to fans. How many 8-4s and 9-3s and 10-2s did we see this year before the season started? So two things can be true. Is it the season that Carolina fans wanted? Is it the season that this team wanted? Is it the season that Bill Belichick wanted? No. But if this team can find a way to reach a bowl game, I do think when you look at how this season started and what it could end up being, that in itself is a really, really cool story and something that deserves to be kind of pointed out. So we'll see, man. I still think it's a tall task, but at least we can have the conversation, right? I think that is a massive positive, especially when you look at where this thing was a freaking month ago. I mean, it was a mess, absolute mess.
I think a lot of people reset their expectations during the chaos that ensued after the Clemson game, that whole week of utter chaos. Dude. And I think very few people said, oh, they can win another game. I didn't think they were going to win another game. I thought the thing was just going into the toilet.
I thought they could sneak one maybe, but that was really it.
Because it was so awful. So many things were so bad that I thought there's no way they can recover. But, man, there's some quality people. There's some quality kids that have helped shift course, entirely different course than they were on before. I mean, the iceberg was there, and they missed it. Mm-hmm. And now they're out in the open sea. Now, we don't know where they're going to end up, but they're out there, and there's no iceberg right now. The kids deserve credit. The staff deserves, everybody in the program deserves credit.
Absolutely.
Everybody does. So they avoided that ultimate disaster. 2-10 would have been a total disaster, and I think it would have been a massive challenge for the decision makers here to have to make a decision. Mm-hmm. Now, we're not going to go there with this part of the conversation because we don't know how this is going to end up. I can sit here and say, yeah, kind of hard pressed to see them winning any of these last 3 because I would pick them at this moment to lose each of them if they were to play tomorrow.
Yeah.
But I think there's also a part of this team with some of this resilience that they've shown that it would probably be unwise to say they won't win any. Mm-hmm. On top of the fact that I'm not too sure about what they're going up against. I think Wake's Wake might be the best of those 3.
They could be. I mean,
believe it or not, because if Duke can't win at Tulane, can't win at Connecticut, maybe Duke's just not that good. Mm-hmm. I mean, Illinois came in and pounded them. I think that some people who cover the ACC have been trying to force feed everybody that Duke's really good and Manny Diaz is doing a great job. I think he's doing a good job. I think Duke is a solid football team, but I don't think Duke rolls in here necessarily and puts 40 up.
No, I don't think that.
I don't know if anybody in the league does that right now. And with NC State and CJ Bailey, that was a nice win over Georgia Tech. Mm-hmm. But we've seen NC State look positively horrible too. So you just never know. And I'm going to go back to the defense that we talked about the other night. There's some polished buttons on this defense now that look pretty legit. We'll see in Winston-Salem how much it travels there because that's not going to be Syracuse or Stanford. Syracuse and Stanford are as bad as Boston College.
Yeah, they're bad teams. They just are.
Yeah, you got a lacrosse player playing quarterback at one place. You got an interim coach for a year in Frank Reich and Andrew Luck looking to see how the program's going to run in the future. You got a GM running around the sideline like that. There's a whole lot of newness and starting over that's going on in Stanford. the league, the finances, the whole coaching situation, structuring how you want to present football and approach football at an elite university like that. There's a whole lot of stuff that's being sorted out there. Boston College is just terrible. Coach screaming at his players, yelling at reporters in press conferences, and Carolina not to play them. Carolina looks like a lot more stable situation now than those two do.
It does, yeah.
And maybe even, I'm not going to say maybe than Syracuse, because I think Fran Brown probably good, pretty decent shape there. He did a good job last year. I think a lot of people think he's a really good coach down the road. But they do have opportunities coming up. And the fact that Jordan Shipp, which is the point of this podcast, Jordan Shipp said it's in the back of their minds. Nobody had that on their bingo card back on October 7th, October 8th. And if they get to one, the great Brett Friedlander will tweet out, bingo has been called.
Yes, he will. He is
for
ready.
the 967,000th times.
Yeah, I was about to say, I thought you were saying, I was hoping you were going to throw the 1,000 at the end of that. Because
I think Bob Sutton said he tweeted bingo has been called like 41 times during the World Series.
I do like when he retweets one of my tweets with the bingo has been called. That makes me feel kind of
that's
nice.
That's arrival. That's full arrival in media and everything else. When you get a bingo has been called retweet from Brett Friedlander.
You know you've made it. You know you've absolutely made it when Brett Friedlander says that. But yeah, I think we can wrap it up there, man. Again, it's nice turnaround this season. Two things can be true at the same time. You know, Carolina, you know, still not beating any world beaters, but they're finding ways to win, and they're making this conversation even a possibility, and can only beat the teams in front of you, man. So let's see if they can carry that momentum, and you know, maybe who knows, AJ, maybe they bring home a state title, man. If they win all three, do they get the rings like Mac did back in the day? I got some trouble for that back in the day, man. I got some trouble for that back in the day.
Mac Brown would take any opportunity to give his team a ring.
Yeah.
Y'all practice hard today. You stayed hydrated. We're getting rings for being hydrated.
Yeah. I pissed some people off when I don't even remember what I tweeted. I don't even know what I tweeted.
I'm not making fun of
Mac,
it,
but no. But
Mac was wonderful, rewarding.
Yeah, great. Yeah, the state championship ring. I think, was it his first year or his second year? I think it was his first year with the state championship rings. I thought that was a little odd again.
He didn't care what people thought.
No,
his kids liked it.
Yeah, exactly. That was a long time ago,
and they earned it, so he did it.
That was a long time ago, man. I think Carolina fans.
There's 1,000 different ways to skin a football cat.
And Carolina fans would kill for a state championship ring right now, man, just to get one over NC State, I think, more than anything. But we'll see, man. We'll see what happens. But the fact that it's even a possibility, I think, kind of is a positive for this team going into the final three games. So I've been Jacob Turner. He's been Andrew Jones. AJ's finally going to leave the press box after 48 hours and some change sitting there. So
and then slept in real life, I still have my takeaways thing, my deep dive, and then I also have my column to write. Then I get to go home.
Three things happen. It hasn't even been ended yet. Technically, it's on this same recording. So if you've seen this is way before.
You have to edit that and put it up. And
yeah.
I'm trying to get to bed before midnight. Jarvis Six is working on his thing. Riken's probably put up his video now. We got the press conferences up. Jarvis is going to work on something tomorrow as an offensive lineman. He's going to work on something about why the defensive ends are having some success from the vantage point of a college offensive tackle, which is what he was up until a few months ago. So I think that'll be pretty interesting as well. He's done a really, really nice job with us. I'm so glad he's part of what we're doing, and his growth has been immeasurable so far.
Yeah, he's been fantastic, man. And yeah, we got a really strong staff over here at Tar247.com. And AJ, that's why you got to get signed up. 75% off. It ends tonight. So make sure you guys take advantage before it is too late. All right, guys, we're heading out of here. Appreciate y'all watching as always. See y'all next time. Thanks.